Hello my dear students, welcome to Grade Up, India's largest online education platform. I am Vinod Shankaran sir with the session on CLAT 2020 sample questions, okay, for logical reasoning. My name is Vinod Shankaran, and if you ask me like, sir, how are we going to deal with questions that have appeared this year? तो इसको कैसे हैंडल करना है, एक अच्छा खासा चेंज है इसमें सोचना. आई हैव बीन टीचिंग दिस कोर्स फॉर अ लॉन्ग टाइम. क्लैट तो मैंने कई सालों से पढ़ा रखा है, ठीक है. व्हाट आई हैव सीन इज दिस ईयर, एंड आई वाज ऑलवेज एन एडवोकेट ऑफ लॉजिकल रीजनिंग कमिंग द वे इट हैज कम दिस ईयर. इस बार जैसे आया है वैसे ही मैं चाहता था कि लॉजिकल रीजनिंग हो, क्योंकि अगर आप एनएलयू द्वारका वगैरह करने जाते हो देन मोस्ट ऑफ द क्वेश्चंस आर लाइक दिस, द वन दैट हैज बीन गिवन एज सैंपल क्वेश्चंस. ठीक है, कहाँ हो, जल्दी ज्वाइन करो, पहले ये तो देखो. वेरी न्यू टू द प्रिपरेशन, मित्रा, माधव और रोहन. ठीक है, अब come and ask the right persons only, then I can give you the answers. There are about 15 students watching now, but then where are you all? I can't see you all. That is the question. So, if you are around and if you ask me questions, then I can actually answer you. So, I can't see your chats. Now, can you all say hi, hello, something to me so that I know that I'm talking to you all? Yeah. Vandana Kumari, good evening, beta. Varsha, good evening. Yeah, that's. Hello, Tarun. Aman Jaiswal, Chandni Singh, good evening, beta. Pure soul, sir, isn't loading. It'll load right away. No, don't worry. It's coming back. It's coming to you now. Shanaya Sharma, Arun Kumar, good evening, beta. Vivek Singh, Surya Kumar, Sachin Joshi, Pranav Pant, all of you, a warm welcome to you and good evening also. Okay. So, now, did you go through the sample paper? Is there any principles and facts in legal reasoning? Of course, in legal reasoning, you are not supposed to learn all the laws, but then you will be given some legal background. That is, you will at least be asked to apply torts. कम से कम torts application तो आ ही जाएगा आपके पास में, ठीक है, किस तरीके से. So legal reasoning is more like logical plus legal reasoning, both put together. Okay, is it working now? Yes. Now, yeah, very good. Very good. I am happy that all of you have started responding now. So, what is the big difference sir? इस बार के वो जो logical reasoning, maths portion, I am not the right person, beta. The faculty is coming just after me. I will be taking your legal reasoning and I'll also talk about English. Okay, the English part and the logical reasoning. I'm not going to talk about legal reasoning. I'll be talking about logical reasoning and English. And for the legal reasoning and mathematics and GS part of it, sir will be coming. Different sirs will be coming and talking to you. Don't worry. Okay. Harshal Rathod, sir, what about we learned torts, contract, criminal, constitution? You will have to learn a bit of all of those, but then the better teacher would be somebody who is teaching you legal reasoning. Okay? I am limited to teaching you. Okay, so please understand this. My name is Vinod Shankaran. Okay, and I will be teaching you English parts and the logical reasoning part. Okay, and this logical reasoning is not what has been coming all these years. ये भी याद रखना, ये वो logical reasoning नहीं है जो आज तक आता था, ठीक है. वो क्या बोलते हैं तुम्हारा pictorials आते थे, ठीक है, series आता था, sitting arrangement आता था, blood relation आता था, वो सब नहीं है. This is more like critical reasoning now. Logical reasoning में ही ये critical reasoning है, ठीक है. और critical reasoning जो जानते हो, ये English में भी आजकल की reasoning by M.K. Pandey, good for logical reasoning. Of course it is, but then Anushka wait, पहले बात तो सुन लो. यहाँ पर मैं reading comprehension की अगर बात करते हो, ठीक है, they have made it all reading comprehension, mind you. सिर्फ passages को कर दिया उन्होंने, ठीक है. इसमें सिर्फ passages आएंगे और यहाँ पर मैं आपको लॉजिकल रीजनिंग आएगा तो इसमें क्या करेंगे, एक छोटा सा पैराग्राफ दिया और उसमें इन्फरेंशियल क्वेश्चंस पूछ लिया, ठीक है। तो दिस पर्टिकुलर सेशन is based on the new pattern, mind you. So please don't ask me anything that is not going to come, जो आने ही वाला नहीं है, उसके बारे में पूछ के क्या करना है. Which is the best book for reasoning? Let me tell you at the last, okay? By the time, once we finish this session, I'll tell you what to follow and where to follow it from. बताता हूँ, wait करो. पहले तो ये देखो कि सर ये लॉजिकल रीजनिंग में कैसे क्वेश्चंस आते हैं, ठीक है. लॉजिकल रीजनिंग्स में, ठीक है, अभी जो मैंने बताया कि किस टाइप के क्वेश्चन आएंगे लॉजिकल रीजनिंग में भी, दिस इज मोर लाइक क्रिटिकल रीजनिंग. दैट इज, कैन यू रीड अ पैसेज, कैन यू रीड अ पैराग्राफ, अ स्मॉल, वोकैबुलरी भी बहुत कम होगा चांदनी, ठीक है. कौन सा होगा जानते हो, जो रीडिंग का पैसेज बेस्ड होगा उतने ही तुम्हारे वोकैबुलरी क्वेश्चंस भी होगा. वोकैबुलरी क्वेश्चंस बोल के अलग से नहीं देने वाला है, ठीक है. ऑल ऑफ देम आर गोइंग टू बी रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन पैसेज बेस्ड. उसी में अगर जो वोकैबुलरी क्वेश्चन पूछना होगा तो पूछ लेगा, उसी में अगर आपको मान लो ईडियम्स फ्रेजेस वगैरह पूछना होगा तो उसको भी वहीं पर कर लेगा. किताबों के बारे में बताता हूं, वेट जय कुमार, सारी चीजें एक बार में पूछ लो, एक सांस में पूछ लोगे, कैसे होगा, ठीक है. वेयर टू प्रैक्टिस, सब चीज बताता हूं. पहले इसको सुनो, क्वेश्चंस कैसे आते हैं देखोगे तब तो तुमको बुक बताऊं. बुक तो तभी बताना पड़ेगा ना, ठीक है. कंप्लीटली रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन बेस्ड. अब सुनो किस तरीके का क्वेश्चन दिखता है वो देखो पहले, ठीक है. ऐसे एक छोटा सा पैसेज दिया जाता है, इफ देयर आर रीटेकर्स. इसके पहले भी अगर आपने मान लो एग्जाम दिया हुआ है और अगर आपने एनएलयू द्वारका का एग्जाम दिया है तो यू विल नो ऐसे ही क्वेश्चंस आते हैं. एक छोटा सा पैराग्राफ लगाता है और उसके पीछे में एक क्वेश्चन होता है, देखना उसके पीछे में इस तरह के क्वेश्चन होते हैं. रीड दिस क्वेश्चन, इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट गाइस, ठीक है. डोंट आस्क पजल्स आर कमिंग, नो सचिन. तुम पहले सैंपल पेपर तो देखो, मैं जो बोल रहा हूं उस पर ध्यान तो दो बेटा, ठीक है. अच्छा इसको देखो, क्वेश्चन का रूप देखना. विच वन ऑफ द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट्स इज कंसिस्टेंट विद द्रविड सिलेक्शन स्ट्रेटजी फॉर द 2018 अंडर-19 वर्ल्ड कप एज स्टेटेड अबव. उसी के बारे में इसमें लिखा होगा, इसमें से डेटा निकालना पड़ेगा, ठीक है. सुनना, डेटा निकालना पड़ेगा, इस डेटा से उस क्वेश्चन को आंसर करना है. सो हाउ आर वी गोइंग टू गो अबाउट डूइंग दैट, ठीक है. जो भी क्वेश्चन आता है इस पे बेस्ड होता है, इस पैराग्राफ पे बेस्ड होता है. इसमें कुछ डेटा है, इसको समझना है और फिर क्वेश्चंस को आंसर करना है, ओके. और ऐसे ही क्वेश्चंस तो इस बार आपके पास में आएंगे. और कॉम्प्रिहेंशन का जो कॉन्सेप्ट है वो तो सेम ही है सर. सोचो, ये भी छोटे छोटे पैराग्राफ्स हैं, कॉम्प्रिहेंशन बड़े बड़े पैराग्राफ्स होते हैं. मतलब तो एक ही, मैंने करना तो एक ही है. तो आपको जो कॉन्सेप्ट चाहिए वो तो एक जैसा ही चाहिए, एक जैसा ही कॉन्सेप्ट चाहिए, ठीक है. सो ऐसे कॉन्सेप्ट्स में क्या सीखना पड़ेगा सर, व्हाट आर वी सपोज टू डू, ठीक है. तो मैं क्या कर रहा हूं, आई एम गोइंग टू गिव यू अ स्मॉल एन आइडिया ऑफ हाउ दिस क्वेश्चंस कम एंड हाउ डू वी गो अबाउट एलिमिनेटिंग ऑप्शंस. ऑप्शन को कैसे एलिमिनेट करते हैं, ठीक है, क्या किया जाता है वो बताता हूं. पूरी गहराई से तो अभी नहीं पढ़ाऊंगा क्योंकि इट विल टेक टाइम, ठीक है. अभी समझ तो लो कि भाई कैसे अप्रोच कैसे रखना पड़ता है, लॉजिकल रीजनिंग के क्वेश्चंस क्या है और अप्रोच कैसे रखना पड़ता है. सबसे पहले ये बताओ, लेट मी आस्क यू अ क्वेश्चन, ठीक है. सपोज हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू नो व्हाट अ पैसेज इज, ये बताना. कॉम्प्रिहेंशन का पैसेज क्या होता है बताना. हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू नो व्हाट अ पैसेज इज, क्योंकि इसी से आना ही है और कोई ग्रामर पैमर तो कुछ है नहीं, ग्रामर नहीं, वोकैबुलरी नहीं, कुछ नहीं, ठीक है. डायरेक्टली पैसेज के ऊपर में बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस आने हैं, छोटे पैराग्राफ्स बड़े पैराग्राफ्स, ठीक है, बड़े पैसेजेस छोटे पैसेजेस, बस इसी पे आना है. मुझे ये बताओ कि पैसेज क्या होता है. लेट मी सी सम ऑफ योर रेस्पॉन्सेज, ठीक है. दिवाकर, सारी बातें तुम्हारे बेटा सर फ्री में पढ़ा दो, करा देंगे, ठीक है. कुछ किताब क्या चाहिए बता दूंगा. वेट तो करो, लास्ट तक वेट करो, पहले समझो पेपर क्या है, देना भी है कि नहीं. आर यू इवन इंटरेस्टेड इन लीगल प्रोफेशन? हाँ बोलो, ये क्या है बताना. हाँ, न्यू पैटर्न से तो रीजनिंग बहुत अच्छा खासा डिफिकल्ट हो गया. लेकिन डिफिकल्ट हो गया तो अच्छा तो ये है ना कि ब्लड रिलेशन नहीं पूछ रहा, सिटिंग अरेंजमेंट नहीं पूछ रहा. ये तो बड़ा इजी है. इफ यू नो हाउ टू रीड एंड व्हाट टू रीड एंड रीड बिटवीन द लाइन्स, ठीक है. क्या पढ़ना है, कैसे पढ़ना है और सेंटेंसेस के बीच में कैसे पढ़ना है, मतलब व्हाट इज नॉट गिवन उसको कैसे पढ़ना है, ठीक है. जो सजेस्टेड है उसको कैसे पढ़ना है, तो हो तो गया आपका काम. हाँ, सो नहीं, what is a passage? Part of an article. Well, let me tell you something. What is a passage? It's a communication, right? It's a written communication. हाँ या ना, ये बताना. Let me explain rather than asking you. ठीक है, बताओ आप. ये पहले क्या है बताना. What is a passage? It's a written communication, it's a written communication, right? ठीक है, yes. पहले इसका बताओ, what is the passage? अनिल पासवान ने कहा कि yes sir, it's a written communication. Do you all agree? And start paying attention. ठीक है, क्वेश्चन ही पूछते रहोगे तो आंसर कब सीखोगे, कब बेटा? A small portion of an article, very good. Okay, so a written communication is called a passage. And what do you think? A passage is trying to tell you something, or it is written just for the heck of it? ये बताना. This you agree? Now tell me the purpose of writing a passage. Will there be a purpose? आपको लगता है कि भाई इसमें कोई उद्देश्य होगा? अगर मान लो मैं कम्युनिकेट करने की कोशिश कर रहा हूं, now I am standing in front of you, ठीक है, सुनना, मैं यहां तुम्हारे सामने खड़े होकर तुम्हारे साथ बकबक कर रहा हूं, ठीक है. डू यू थिंक आई डोंट हैव एनी पर्पस, आई एम जस्ट डूइंग द टॉकिंग विदाउट एनी पर्पस, और आई विल हैव अ पर्पस? ये बताना. Will I have a purpose or will I not have a purpose when I'm trying to communicate with you? Written communication हो चाहे oral communication हो, ठीक है, written या oral communication. दिवाकर, stop your question. I'll answer your question. एक बार समझा करो बेटा, वरना तुम्हारी क्वेश्चन का जवाब नहीं दूंगा. हाँ, yes, okay. So they are trying to, he has got a purpose, याद रखना. That is a very good thing. Most of you answered correctly, and you said that a passage is a written communication with a purpose to tell the reader, what the writer feels. Okay? Writer को कुछ बताना है. Yes, you have a purpose. Very good, बेटा. ठीक है. The writer has a purpose and he wants to tell the reader something. So without which he'll not pick up a piece of paper and pen. कागज कलम उठाएगा क्यों जब उसको कुछ बताने ही नहीं है? क्यों बात करेगा? ठीक है, तो पहले तो ये समझना है. अभी किसी बच्चे ने पूछा था कि सर रीडिंग कैसे करूं? ऐसे ही करना है. एवरी टाइम यू आर रीडिंग द न्यूज़पेपर, एन आर्टिकल, वॉट एवर यू आर रीडिंग, मेक श्योर दैट देयर इज समथिंग द ऑथर इज ट्राइंग टू टेल यू इन 2, 3, 4 sentences, बट देन ही इज बिल्डिंग एन एंटायर स्टोरी अराउंड इट. ठीक है, लेकिन बताना तो उसको 2 ही 3 बातें हैं. वो बातें कौन सी हैं और कहां लिखी हैं? It can be at the beginning of the paragraph, at the end of the paragraph, in the middle of the paragraph. It can be anywhere. The purpose of the author could be stated anywhere in the passage. Sometimes I give you all the data that is required to reach a purpose and I don't tell you what my purpose is. कई बार क्या करता हूं, मैथ्स के जैसे कर देता हूं. ठीक है, 20 + 30 लिखने के बाद मैं बोलता हूं कि बेटा तुम ही सोच लो इसका आंसर क्या होगा. yes, to develop our inferential skills. Absolutely, that is what I'm going to teach you now. ठीक है, समरी जो भी करना है. ठीक है, तो रीडिंग करने का समझना. रीडिंग करते समय ऑलवेज कीप दिस इन माइंड दैट द ऑथर इज ट्राइंग टू टेल यू एंड आई एम गोइंग टू गो फॉर द किल, आई एम गोइंग टू गो फॉर द जगलर. ओके, पकड़ना है कि भाई आखिरकार बताना क्या. एक बात वो बताना चाह रहा है, वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, उसको पकड़ना है. वो कहीं पर भी हो सकता है, लेकिन एक बात बताओ, आई एम गोइंग टू डिलीट दिस एंड erase this and I am going to write some more. ठीक है, उसको देखना. ठीक है, इसमें देखो. Let us write some more. Now look at this. I said a passage therefore must have a purpose. Okay, I want to tell you that Virat Kohli is the best batsman in the world. सुनना. ठीक है, मैं कहना चाहता हूं कि भाई विराट कोहली is the best batsman in the world. That is my opinion. Now if I keep saying the same thing over and over, मान जाओगे? विराट कोहली इज द बेस्ट कैप्टन, विराट कोहली इज द बेस्ट बैट्समैन बोल करके मैं मान लो 10 बार एक ही सेंटेंस लिख दूं, आप मेरी बातों से सहमत हो जाओगे या नहीं होगे? दैट वॉज माई पर्पस. इफ आई कीप रिपीटिंग माई पर्पस 10 times, विल यू बी कन्विंस्ड और यू विल वॉन्ट सपोर्टिंग इन्फॉर्मेशन फॉर दिस? बताना क्या चाहिए, बताना. सिर्फ इतना ही होगा या इसके लिए सपोर्टिंग इन्फॉर्मेशन भी लिखना पड़ेगा? बताना. नव्या नायक, अर्पित, सूर्या, ओके, मनदीप, एवरीबडी हु इज वॉचिंग, दिवाकर. बेटा दिवाकर चिंता नहीं कर बेटा, मैं हूं, बात करूंगा तेरे से, चिंता नहीं कर. ठीक है, संस्कृति, सर टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया गुड इनफ? यस संस्कृति, आई विल आंसर ऑल दोस क्वेश्चंस. वेट, पहले इसको बताना बच्चा. ठीक है, सिर्फ अगर मेरी मन का जो बात है, मेरे मन में जो ओपिनियन था उसी को तो मैं, या सपोर्टिंग इंफॉर्मेशन इज रिक्वायर्ड. वेरी गुड. सो आई विल ऑल्सो हैव टू हैव सपोर्टिंग इंफॉर्मेशन. बस if you understand these two concepts, that every passage is driven by supporting information and the main idea, you know how to read them. Yes, sir. Very good. Pure Soul, Savita, Priyadarshan Kumar, Priyanandan Kumar, Ankit Raj. Okay, all of you, it was a very good answer. What you are saying is supporting information के बिना तो sir आप अपने point को, you cannot drive home the point without the supporting information. Now here is where everything comes together. अब आता है कि सर क्वेश्चन का जवाब देना है. आई एम गोइंग टू मेक यू रीड दैट पैसेज दैट आई वाज शोइंग यू. ठीक है, उस पैसेज को दिखाने जा रहा हूं जो कि आपके इसमें क्या बोलते हैं सैंपल पेपर में दिया हुआ है. क्लैट का सैंपल पेपर में जो क्वेश्चन दिया हुआ है उसी को दिखाने जा रहा हूं. ठीक है, डोंट गिव मी एनी आंसर, आंसर माई क्वेश्चंस. जो मैं क्वेश्चन पूछूंगा उसका जवाब देना. आई एम गोइंग टू शो इट टू यू. ओके, नाउ स्टॉप टॉकिंग टू मी एंड रीड इट. आई वॉन्ट यू टू कॉन्सेंट्रेट एंड रीड. ओके, and tell me what it is trying to tell you. I'll ask you a few specific questions, so please read it. When you are done reading, tell me that you are done reading. Then I'll ask you the question. Go for the kill. Okay, read the sentences which are very important. You think that must form the core of the passage, that is the primary purpose of the passage, and the supporting information. Yes, well and good. Now if you are done, very good. Now my question is, which all sentences do you think form the primary purpose of the passage? पैसेज का प्राइमरी पर्पस किस सेंटेंसेस में है उनको बताओ. देखता हूं कितने लोगों को समझ में आया. इतने शब्दों में कुछ तो कहना चाहता है. ठीक है, नो अंकित राज, आई वॉन्ट यू टू टेल मी द सेंटेंसेस. कहां से कहां कौन से सेंटेंस की बात कर रहे हो जो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. आई डोंट वॉन्ट यू टू बी वेग. देखना सर ये होना चाहिए, ठीक है, पैसेज पढ़ा दूसरी ओर सोच करके आप बता रहे हो मेरे को, वो नहीं. लुक एट द पैसेज एंड टेल मी व्हाट इज रिटन हियर. और यहां देख के बताओ कि कौन से सेंटेंसेस लग रहा है कि सर यही बताने के लिए इतना शब्द लिखा है. टू से समथिंग, to support this, to say this particular sentence, he has written the other sentences. Third and the fourth line. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Rahul Dravid, the head of India's coach under-19 cricket team, explained that the 2018 under-19 selection strategy was about providing opportunities to a lot more players to come under the India 19 fold. He explained that more than winning, which is not the right touchstone of success for program at this level, what matters is how many of the players are able to move to the next level, that is first class. See, this is the sentence. This is the sentence you are trying to, okay, from here till here. This is what is the supporting information. Based on this, he is trying to tell us this. देखना इसको. What matters is, see, he therefore made a conscious decision not to select player. See, this is the conclusion. Okay, whosoever is the author, what he is trying to tell us is what was Rahul Dravid's selection strategy. What is Rahul Dravid's selection strategy for selecting players for promoting them to the first class cricket? Okay, so there are two very distinct elements in the passage. The supporting information is here and the conclusion is here. Okay, if you can do this all the time, okay, I can also write it this way. Okay, Rahul Dravid has made a conscious decision not to select players from the previous World Cup to the 2018 Under-19 World Cup squad. I put this here and then start explaining this. Then you would have understood it even better. You would say, sir, this is the primary purpose, and then he is writing this. ये भी तो कर सकता था ना, इसको मैं ऊपर लिख देता, इसको नीचे लिख देता, ऐसे भी कर सकता था. What you need to do is then read a passage, go for the primary purpose and the supporting information. Go for the primary purpose and the supporting information. ये अगर आप जब जब करने लगोगे तो सारे passages आपके हाथ में. See, not every word given here is important. Some sentences are important, some sentences are not all that important. The ability to see that this is what the passage is trying to say and this is what is the supporting information. इतना ही कर लिया तो काम हो गया. Now, can you answer this question? I'm sure most of you have seen. I'm sure most of you have seen that sample paper. अगर आपने सैंपल पेपर देखा है तो आपको तो गेस तो हो गया होगा. ठीक है, अगर सैंपल पेपर अगर आपने नहीं देखा है, ट्राई टू आंसर दिस क्वेश्चन एंड देन आई विल टेल यू द स्ट्रैटेजी टू आंसर दिस क्वेश्चंस. ठीक है, पहले इसको बताओ, पहले क्वेश्चन को रीड करो एंड ट्राई टू गिव इट अ गेस एंड देन आई विल टेल यू हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू आर राइट, हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू आर रॉन्ग एंड व्हाट वेंट रॉन्ग. सी, रीड द क्वेश्चन वेल. याद रखना, more than the answer itself, the question is very important. It's very important. मैंने क्या देखा है, more often than not what happens is students ने question पढ़ा, आंसर पढ़ना शुरू किया. सुनना बेटा, पहले समझ लेना, आंसर पढ़ना शुरू किया, आप क्वेश्चन भूल गए. क्वेश्चन में क्या पूछा था वही याद नहीं है. ठीक है, एंड यू आर ट्राइंग टू फाइंड द आंसर्स. दैट हैपेंस विथ लैंग्वेज. मैथ्स वगैरह अलग चीज है. इंग्लिश में क्या हो जाता है, लैंग्वेज में क्या हो जाता है कि आपने क्वेश्चन पढ़ा, आंसर पे गए तो क्वेश्चन भूल गए, तो आंसर सभी सही लगने लगा. ठीक है, ओके. सो व्हाट इज द क्वेश्चन? व्हिच वन ऑफ द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट्स इज कंसिस्टेंट विद द्रविड सिलेक्शन स्ट्रेटजी फॉर द 2018 अंडर-19 वर्ल्ड कप एज स्टेटेड अबव. ओके, सो व्हिच रीजनिंग डू यू थिंक इज कंसिस्टेंट विद व्हाट द्रविड्स रीजनिंग वाज? ओके, यू से सी इज द आंसर. ओके, okay, you say C is the answer. Well, whosoever answered it as C, you are absolutely correct. ठीक है, बिल्कुल कोई सोचना नहीं. This is the right answer. Very good. ठीक है, this is the correct answer. But मेरा question है, ये क्यों नहीं? Now this is where your actual test comes to the fore. ठीक है, अगर मैं ये पूछूं A क्यों नहीं, B क्यों नहीं and D क्यों नहीं, why only C? ठीक है, why only C? भावना जज says it's B, sir. ठीक है, playing sport is more important than winning or losing. ठीक है, that is given in the passage. This can be made out from the passage also. This also can be made out from the passage, and this also can be maybe this can also be made out from the passage. Then how are you going to decide? ठीक है, अब बताना, हाउ आर यू गोइंग टू डिसाइड दैट सी इज द करेक्ट आंसर? क्योंकि बी भी कोई खराब आंसर नहीं है. प्लेइंग स्पोर्ट इज मोर इंपॉर्टेंट देन विनिंग और लूजिंग. ठीक है, अच्छा, यूअर्स इज करेक्ट, उसमें तुम्हारा अभी सिलेक्शन नहीं होने वाला. ठीक है, सुदीप्ति अर्शाना बेटा, हाँ, अभी ये बताओ व्हाट इज द प्रॉब्लम. नहीं, दैट इज वेयर दैट एबिलिटी टू सी द डेटा गिवन एंड बीइंग एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड. आई सेड लेट्स कम बैक टू द पैसेज. पैसेज में मैंने क्या बोला था, ये तुम्हारा सपोर्टिंग इंफॉर्मेशन है और ये हमारा कंक्लूजन है. सो व्हाट वाज द प्रेमिस, किसके ऊपर में उसने कंक्लूजन निकाला? बोले कि भाई जीतो या हारो. ठीक है, या वेरी गुड, जीतो या हारो, आई वांट माय प्लेयर्स टू गो टू द नेक्स्ट लेवल, बिकॉज बाय विनिंग और लूजिंग दैट कुड बी अ वन ऑफ थिंग. ठीक है, हो सकता है कि एक बार मैं फ्लूक से जीत गया, पॉसिबल है, लेकिन इफ यू वांट क्वालिटी देन यू हैव टू गो थ्रू दैट हायरार्की of being able to get qualified from the first rounds and then going on to first class cricket and then going through the grinds and then becoming a player for a longer period of time. Okay, so agar batao. Very good, I am coming to that. Wait. अब इसमें आ जाओ. Selecting an inexperienced team at the under-19 level ensures failure and players who experience failure learn to be humble. Now this is not what the passage is trying to say. The tone of the passage is not to teach students to be humble, or not to teach players to be humble. ये द्राविड ये तो नहीं सोच रहे हैं कि भाई जितने भी प्लेयर्स हो जाते हैं वो सब एग्रेसिव हो जाते हैं, एरोगेंट हो जाते हैं, वो सब तो नहीं लिखा है. ठीक है, सो फॉर दिस आई डोंट हैव एनी सपोर्टिंग डेटा, नो सपोर्टिंग डेटा. नाउ दिस कुड बी अभी यहाँ पर मैं तो बैठे हुए हो, मैं इंडिया में सोचता हूँ कि भाई कई सारे प्लेयर्स हैं, बहुत माथा उनका बहुत भारी है, मैंने आई बिलीव दैट दे हैव वेरी बिग हेड्स इन द सेंस दे आर वेरी प्राउड एंड वेरी एरोगेंट, आई फील दैट. But then this passage is not talking about that. This passage is not talking about Advait Singh, stop your D. ठीक है, D वाला खत्म करो, मैंने देख लिया तुम्हारा. ठीक है, सुनो, तो ये नहीं हो सकता because the passage doesn't talk about it. Yes, somebody said that. Very good. This could be true as somebody's opinion. किसी के ओपिनियन की तरह तो ये सही हो सकता है, लेकिन पैसेज में ये नहीं है. नाउ दिस इज प्लेइंग अ स्पोर्ट इज मोर इंपॉर्टेंट देन विनिंग और लूजिंग. दिस इज पार्ट ऑफ व्हाट द्रविड़ वाज ट्राइंग टू एमिंग टू गेट. ठीक है, अद्वैत सिंह रोक दे बेटा, वरना तुमको मैं निकाल दूंगा इसमें से. ठीक है, वॉचिंग में से. तो कितने बार लिखोगे, मुझे समझ में आता है डी और सी. ठीक है, अच्छा, इसको देखो. Playing a sport is more than winning or losing. This is part of it, but it is not the entire answer. Partial answer है ये. ठीक है, और ये full answer है. फिर D में आ जाओ. When players are under the age of 19, they do not feel stressed about playing at World Cup. However, as they age, their ability to play well depends on the number of matches they have already played. Now, this is also this looks very close. ये देखना. If you look at the C option and the D option, both of them look very close. Both of them look very close. ठीक है, अब इसमें देखो, when players are under the age of 19, they do not feel stressed about playing at World Cup. ठीक है, ये सब तो ये द्रविड़ का कहना क्या था, वो दो ही पॉइंट पे सोचो, उसी पॉइंट पे क्वेश्चन को आंसर करना है. द्रविड़ का रीजनिंग क्या था, जीतो या हारो, क्वालिटी दिखाओ ताकि मैं तुमको फर्स्ट क्लास क्रिकेट खिलवा पाऊं. उससे तो ये भी भाग रहा है. ठीक है, दैट रीजनिंग इज नॉट क्लियर हियर. ओके, बिकॉज इट स्टार्ट्स टॉकिंग अबाउट उनके उम्र होते होते ये हो जाए, वो सबके लिए उनके उम्र होते होते दे विल बिकम बेटर विद द नंबर ऑफ मैचेस दे प्ले, दे विल गेट एक्सपीरियंस. इन सब की बात द्रविड़ का करना नहीं है. ही सेज ही वांट्स टैलेंट फॉर प्रमोटिंग देम टू द नेक्स्ट लेवल. आगे जाके क्या करेगा उसके बारे में द्रविड़ बोल नहीं रहा है. आगे जाने के बाद अच्छा ही परफॉर्म करेगा नहीं करेगा उसके बारे में पता नहीं है. आई वॉन्ट द प्लेयर्स टू गो टू द नेक्स्ट लेवल, दैट्स ऑल. देयरफॉर दिस इज ऑल्सो नॉट द आंसर. इस तरीके से सोचना पड़ता है. दीज आर वेरी ईजी व्हेन द क्वेश्चंस आर ईजी इनफ, बट इफ द क्वेश्चंस बिकम टफर, ठीक है, इफ द क्वेश्चन बिकम्स टफर देन absolutely Chandani Singh and Shania Sharma. Yes beta. Aditya Prakash, yes, you have to stick to the content given in the passage. Now I'll explain something to you. See if you can understand what I'm trying to tell you. Okay, see what we do is, sir, how do we take out these options? Okay, see, there is one thing I'll tell you. Okay, there is one thing I'll try to tell you. Okay, now let's see this. Let's see whether this is working for us. Okay, options. There are many different options. Okay, there are 4 options. We have 4 options, 1, 2, 3, 4 options. How are you going to eliminate each of the options? How are you going to eliminate each of the options? What do? We have the passage here and you have the questions. You have the passage and you have the questions. Okay, so what you do is, first of all, read the question well. Don't lose sight of the question itself, because the question is very particular about a point. Okay, and what we want to do is select an option that is consistent with the question. So how do we do it? If the questions become very close, then how do I mark one and say that my answer is correct without having to think twice? Okay, how do you do that? For that, there is a small trick that I'll teach you. See whether you can understand it. Okay, suppose I write a small example here. Okay, and tell me whether you can understand this. Okay, suppose the passage itself is only one single word, or only one single sentence. Okay, I say, give me a glass of water. I say, give me a glass of water. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is, I said this sentence to you, one of you there. I said, give me a glass of water. And what I'm going to do now is ask some questions based on this particular sentence. And you need to tell me whether that will fall under, where it will fall on a scale of probability. Where all the options will fall on a scale of probability. Aishwarya Das, where can you where can you practice questions from of such standards? I'll tell you. I'll come to that. Wait, let me finish this. Okay, let me finish this. I'll take your questions also. Just wait for a second. Okay, see, on a scale of probability, this is something that I have devised. There is nothing nothing called a probability scale or something. This is just so that you can understand better. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark this place as 0% possibility. This is a probability scale, okay, and I call this 0% probable, so I call this definitely false. According to the passage, whatever be the options here, suppose I write A, B, C, D, I write 4 options, okay, I ask you, I write 4 options here, and then I ask you for each of the options, where are you going to place it on this scale, okay. We will move faster because this one you understand, Priyanandan, you will be better off. Now wait, I am going to write some options here. Tell me, give me a glass of water. The listener, okay, the person ordered 2, okay. We are thinking from the position of the person ordered 2. So somebody whom I requested for a glass of water, okay, that is from the point of view of the person that I am talking to, I am going to write the options, okay. So the person that is listening to me, that is maybe Priyanandan himself, okay. So Priyanandan, I am giving you this option. When I say give me a glass of water, you thought that Vinod sir is thirsty, okay. This is the first thought that came to your mind, okay. The second thought that came to your mind was Vinod sir is going to wash his face, okay. The third thought that came to you was he will ask for one more glass. He will ask for one more glass of water. One more glass, okay. And what you there is one more, and you say he will not ask for one more glass. He will not ask for one more glass, okay. Now let's try to place each one of the options according to what we have been given in this particular sentence, okay. Wait and listen, because once you understand this, you will be able to select the options in no time. Just you have to put all the options on this on the scale of probability, and that's about it, okay. Wait, Vinod sir is thirsty, okay, and let me also explain the other points on the scale. This is a 50-50 point, where I will say that this is a data insufficient point, okay, data insufficient to take a call, and this I'll say is a 100% true statement according to the sentence given, okay, and this I'll call it call as definitely true. Now what must this area be? This must be probably true, and this must be probably false, okay, and this is definitely false. Now let us wait. See, I'm very happy with the kind of responses that you are giving, the kind of enthusiasm you show here. I'm really happy for that. But then let's take one by one, because if I don't teach you, you might get confused. Okay, now come here. Vinod sir is thirsty. What do? I take this conclusion that you have drawn on this particular statement, okay, and match it with the data. Now thirsty is consistent with a glass of water. Thirsty is consistent with a glass of water. This I can understand from my common sense. I don't require special knowledge. With this data and this word, I find consistency. Okay, and I say, give me a glass of water. So Vinod sir is thirsty is very much possible. Where will we place it? At 51% or 99%, but you cannot say that it is going to be 100% simply because, wait, please listen. Now if you don't listen, then you are going to get stuck. Okay, now understand. What I am saying is, I am matching the data, and what I say is, it is consistent with the statement given. Give me a glass of water. It is consistent with one glass of water, and a glass of water is what everybody requires if somebody is thirsty and he wants water. Okay, and you are going to give it in a glass, you don't give it in a bucket. Okay, so he's thirsty. It's well and good, sir. It should fall between 51 and 99, and I will call this probably true. I'll call this a probably true statement based on this passage. Okay, I come to the second one. He's going to wash his face. The data is inconsistent. To wash your face, you don't require one glass. You will require a mug or more, not less than. So, no, not a glass of water. Okay, there is a data mismatch here. Washing your face and a glass of water, there is a data mismatch, or there is something that contradicts. This actually goes ahead and contradicts the data given in the passage, because you can very easily understand that it is going to be at least a mug of water if somebody wants to wash his face. Okay, so there is data contradiction. In the first one, there was no data contradiction. In the second statement, you have data contradiction. As long as there is contradiction with the passage, the data is given and there is some contradiction, only then I can bring it to the level of falsity. You say something is false only when there is data contradiction. Okay, please keep that in mind. Okay, what I'm saying is, when do we call something is false according to the passage? Only when there is data contradiction. Okay, if there is no data in the passage and the statement is given, it is 50-50. If something outside the passage is given to you as an option here, if something outside the passage is given to you as an option here, you don't find resonance in the passage, we will say that it is data insufficient. We will not call it false. Will not call it false. Okay, so this is false because it is a mug full of water. But then, sir, you said 99% possibility of a glass of water being utilized for drinking, and it can also be utilized for washing your face. But there is a data contradiction here. So what I call is this will fall under 49 to 1%, 49 to 1% or 0%, and I'll call this probably false. I'll call this probably false because there is data contradiction. Yes. Yeah, see, we will talk about questions when they come, Vishwa. Okay, this is only to make you understand the concepts. Okay, और उसके बाद आ जाओ. He will ask for one more glass of water. इसमें बताना. Give me a glass of water बोला है. अब इसमें सोच के बताना. Shania, Vivek and everybody, okay, sitting there, try to tell me what this sentence is as per the passage. This is probably true, probably false or data insufficient. इसमें बताना. Shania, now don't start teaching each other. ठीक है, come back to the video and come back to the class. और यहाँ पर बताओ फटाक से, ये बताओ टाइम बच्चे. He will ask for one more glass of water. What do you think this is going to be? Shania, the question is to you and Ankit and everybody who is praising Shania. Okay, he will ask for one more glass. What do you think this is? The first one was probably true. The second one was probably false. The third one is what? Data insufficient. C, probably true. See, this is what you are not doing what I asked you to do. See, how many glasses of water did I want? How many glasses of water did I want? I said a glass of water. I said one glass of water. And here you say one more glass of water. Is there not contradiction? Is there not contradiction? एक बार और सोचना. वैभव, व्यास, सचिन, तरुण, दिवाकर. Yes, tell me again. What I'm saying is, give me a glass of water, and this particular sentence says he will ask for one more glass of water. What do you think? Probably false. Very good. Cars for Life. Somebody called Cars for Life. Mandeep Singh, Chandani. Okay. Now here, sir, this he will ask for one more glass goes against what Vinod sir wanted. Vinod sir wanted only one glass, and here it says one more glass. That is probably false again. This is probably false. Now here, he will not ask for one more glass. He will not ask for one more glass. What do you think? What do you think this one is? इसको बताना. The last one, and we are through. The last one, what do you think? And I'll give you one more option for data insufficient, and that's enough. Isme batan. Tell me this one. He will not ask for one more glass. Vinod sir asked for one more glass, and the person who was listening to me thinks about this. Is there a contradiction here in this one? The last one, D. Give me an answer for D. Quick. D. See, Vinod sir wanted a glass of water, and the person who listened to me is thinking that he will not ask for one more glass. What do you think? Probably true. Absolutely. Very good. Very good, kids. Very good. This is probably true. Now, with this particular skill, it's a very small skill. There are many things to teach you. Okay. This is the beginning of logical reasoning and critical reasoning. And if you can simply use this, you will be doing much better than how you have been doing all this while in reading comprehension. Okay. So, there is the last sentence. There is the last sentence. Okay. And tell me what that is according to the passage or according to the sentence that I have given. Okay. This is, I say, this is another option. Okay. Vinod sir will fall unconscious. What do you think? What do you think? Give me a glass of water, and the option that the person who is listening to me, the person who was listening to this, okay, Divakar, you have to start from the beginning. Okay, now you see, give me a glass of water, and what you are thinking is Vinod sir will fall unconscious. Yes. What do you think? This is consistent with the statement, or it is not consistent with the statement? What do you think? It is 50-50, probably false, probably true. Is there any indication within this sentence to show that Vinod sir may fall unconscious or he may not fall unconscious? I'll explain D. Wait, I'll explain D. Wait, Anil, give me 2 seconds. Huh? First of all, tell me this, and then I'll go back to D. Okay. Yes. Data insufficient for sure. Absolutely, because there is no relation. Okay. This neither negates nor supports what I said. Okay. It's a different ball game when you are looking at the person. I am talking only about the statements. Okay. I am not talking about whether you are looking at me when I said this. Okay. I am not talking about whether you can process any other information but for this particular statement. Okay. Chalo. Now, somebody asked me this. He will not ask for one more glass. He will not ask for one more glass. See, how many glasses of water did I want? I said a glass. A glass means one glass. So, if the other person brings me only one glass of water, should I catch hold of his shirt? Somebody was asking me this question. You said he will not ask for one more glass of water. Suppose I say, give me a glass of water, Divakar, and you bring me only one glass of water. Should I catch hold of your collars and say, okay, I asked for a glass of water. Why didn't you bring two? Tell me. Does it make sense? Because I said one glass and you're saying he'll not ask for one more glass. That is what you thought. That's why you bought one glass of water. So this is probably true. Is that clear to you? Okay. Now, that brings me to the end of my session. One question was more than enough. Okay, you know now how to, there are things to be learned in logical reasoning, and there are approaches, and they make it very, very easy for you to read, understand and give answers. Okay, and I expect that you will join soon so that we can start our preparation soon. Okay, and I'll tell you where some people were asking me where to do these kind of questions. One, the best thing would be if you can get hold of a book for SAT. Okay, how many of you know what SAT is? This is undergraduate exam, okay, conducted on an international level for admissions to colleges outside. Okay, if you can get hold of sample papers for this, you'll be able to do them. Okay, there you have many questions coming in the same pattern as CLAT questions, and you can also go for LSAT questions. Okay, LSAT not of India's, outside. Okay, yeah, we will do such sessions more often. Okay, and this is the beginning. Okay, as if you show interest and you are going to be there with us, then obviously will also be interested in teaching you. Okay, and let me introduce you to your next teacher, the legal reasoning sir. Quant sir is here. Okay, so talk to sir and ask him your doubts also. Okay, I'm going to give it to Pranav. Yes.
Hello, good evening students. How are you doing? So did you go through the paper, the sample paper that was shared by the CLAT consortium? Hello. Hello, good evening everyone. So I hope you must have gone through the paper that was shared by the CLAT consortium. And how did you find it? I already took a session that day, and I mentioned that the entire paper would be passage based. So in quantitative techniques as well, you will no longer have direct questions from Kant. However, the questions will be in the form of graphs or passages. Okay, so let's see what were the questions that were given in the sample. So first of all, I'll tell you what are the type of questions that are likely to be asked. So you will have questions based on graphs such as bar graph, line graph, pie chart. You might have questions based on data given in the form of tables, or you might have caselets. Caselets are passage based data interpretation. So these are the various types of data interpretation that you would be asked in the examination. So there won't be any loose questions. So all questions will be in the set form. Yes, all the questions will be based on DI. Okay, so and for that you don't need any mathematical knowledge. You don't need to have knowledge of different topics. However, you will need some basic knowledge of statistics and basic algebra and such topics. So it was already given in the notification. So let's see the type of questions that were given in the sample. So there was one pie chart and there was a caselet. Okay. So the first pie chart, I am reading the instructions here. The pie chart below shows the Indian government's interim budget allocation for the year 2019-20 in percentage terms. All the questions below should be answered solely based on the pie chart below. So just to give you a brief of the pie chart. So a pie chart consists of various slices, and one thing to be noted here is, it's just for your reference. Did anyone of you find it incorrect? Yes, mean mode questions will be there. Okay, they might ask you basic statistics questions. And for book, I'd say a 10th class book, an NCERT book would suffice. You should, because in class 10th you have all these questions on data interpretation, that kind of book would suffice. They won't ask you higher mathematics. So a book, an NCERT book or other mathematics books such as R.D. Sharma and all would suffice for this preparation. You just need to practice data interpretation using that. Okay, so first of all, I would like to tell you that this question had an error. Why? So in a pie chart, all the slices should add up to 100%. So that is the first thing that you should see in a pie chart. Since there were 27 slices in this chart, none of you would have bothered to add these percentages and see that if it was correct or not. So if you get time, later on you can revisit it and add all these percentages. You would get the result as 103.62%, which is incorrect. Okay, so the question itself had some errors. However, we'll solve the question using that data. Okay, so the first thing you should check is if the question is correct or not. So it is possible that in examinations also you might get errors in the question. So this question had an error. Okay, however, we'll try to solve this question because we are here to discuss how to solve those questions. Okay, so we'll use the data and see the solutions to the questions. Okay. So the first question is, if the government's budgetary allocation for pension is rupees 1.7 lakh crore, which of the following is the closest approximation of the total budget? Okay. So if you look at pension, so the portion for pension given is 6.26%. So for this you need to know that if you are good with fractions, you must be knowing that 1 by 16 is 6.25%. Okay, so 1 by 16 is 6.25% and this is 6.26%. So which means that if you just multiply with 16, if you multiply the given value with 16, you would get approximate answer, because the question itself says closest approximation. It is not asking you for the exact number. And if you look at the options, so one interesting thing about this sample paper was the questions appear to be difficult. The passage given and the pie chart given appear to be difficult. However, if you looked at the questions closely, you would have felt that they were very easy to solve. So if you look at the options itself, they are far apart. It is 27, it is 46.8, 10.64 and 360. So if you multiply 1.7 by 16, you get 27.2, isn't it? So it is straight that the answer would be this, 27.16 lakh crore, and it asks for the closest approximation, not the exact value. Okay, so let's move to the next question. What percentage of the total budget has been earmarked for agriculture and allied activities, subsidy fertilizer and subsidy food collectively? Now see one thing. So as I would recommend that whenever you attempt a passage a DI set, the most important thing to look for is the difficulty level of the question. If we look at the previous question, all the options were far apart. However, in this case, all the options are very close, 14.82, 14.56, 14.67 and 14.7. The options are very close, which means that you are prone to make errors. You have more probability to make errors in this question. Okay, so it is advisable, in case you are short of time, please avoid such questions. So as an ideal test taker, you should know that which questions to attempt, which questions to skip. So in case you are short of time in the examination, you should avoid attempting such questions. Why? Because the options are very close. You are prone to make errors. Anyway, we'll solve this question. So there are three categories: agriculture and allied activities, subsidy fertilizer and subsidy food collectively. So we have to add these three values. So subsidy food is 6.62, agriculture and allied is 5.39, and the third was subsidy fertilizer 2.69. So we will add 6.26, 5.39 and 2.69. Sorry, it is 6.2 here. So if we add it, we get the answer as 14.70. Okay. So the answer to this question is 14.7%. Is it clear? Pure sol, if you talk about 1 by 16, it will come by practice. So for these, attempting these data interpretation, you should be thorough with chapters such as percentages, ratios and all. So you have to practice those questions. These are the background topics for attempting data interpretation. Okay, now let's move to the third question. If the entire portion of the budget earmarked for defense is split equally between the transport and home affairs, what would be the new allocations for transport and home affairs in the percentage terms? So transport, we'll see what is the value of transport, we'll see the value of home affairs, and defense. So defense is 10.97. Transport is 5.61, and the third one is home affairs. Home affairs is 3.73. Now the question says that this thing is split into two parts and added to each one of them. So half a part of this is added to this, and half of, say this is plus d by 2 plus d by 2. So now guys, see, one shortcut to solve this question is, this ends in 2 decimal digits, and if you take half, it would end in 3 decimal digits. Okay. So among the options, there is only one option which ends in 3 decimal digits. So that's a shortcut to solve this question. Even without calculating it, you could directly solve it. Okay, and if you want to do the conventional method, you just divide it, it would come 5.485, and if you add to them, you will get these values. 5.61 plus 5.485 would yield 11.095, and similarly if you add to this, you will get this value. However, as a smart test taker, you should look for such options. So I would rate this question as easy. First question was easy, second was difficult, this was again easy. So in the test taking, when you are appearing for the actual test, you should apply these tricks in order to solve the questions quickly. So this was the third question. Now coming to the fourth question, what percentage of the budgetary allocation for transfer to states is the budgetary allocation for pension? So basically it's the ratio. Okay, so again you see that the options are very clear: 8.16, 104.51, 95.69 and 11.32. So transfer to states and pension. So transfer to states is 5.99 and pension is 6.26. So basically it is 6.26 divided by 5.99. So you need to know approximation as well. It would be 6.26 by 6, which is approximately 6. You know that 0.26 is around 4% of 6. Okay, 6 fours are 24, so it should be around 104. Anyway, even if you did not calculate it exactly, you would know that it has to be greater than 100%. Obviously this number is greater than this, so the only option which is greater than 100% is this one. Again, very easy question. So you can see that 3 out of the 4 questions were doable within 10 seconds. So as a smart test taking strategy, you should know that which questions to attempt in the examination and which ones to skip. It's like facing the bouncers, leaving the bouncers and hitting the full toss for a 6. Okay. Yes, Arpit, we will. This is the sample paper provided by the CLAT consortium. We are solving this for you. In future, we will take sessions. We'll prepare you for all type of questions which could probably be asked in the examination. Okay. Now let's look at the second set which was given. Now this is a caselet type question. So the paragraph based DI are known as caselets in mathematical terms. So I'll just read the passage for you. So two people, names are irrelevant. Okay, one more thing, names are irrelevant, and it says that they received a sum of rupees 1 lakh, sum of which they received gifts amounting to rupees 1 lakh, some of which was in cash and the rest was in the form of other articles. Okay, and it says the cash received was more than 35,000. Now they have not mentioned what was the exact value of cash, but it was more than 35,000. Okay, and the cash receipt were in the denominations of rupees 2,000, 500 and 200. So these were the three types of notes they received. And when they counted the notes, there were 10 notes of a certain type, 12 notes of the second type and 16 notes of the third type. Now one thing to note here is they haven't mentioned respectively. So I hope you know that if it were respectively, you know that there must have been 10 notes of 2000, 16 notes of 500, 12 notes of 500 and 16 notes of 200. So it's not in the same order, okay, which is very common. Now what they did was, they decided to spend an amount equal to the total value of the gifts received by them at the end of wedding in the ratio 2:3 on buying guitar and sitar respectively. Okay. So now the questions are very easy. Okay. Now the only difficult question in this is this. We'll see that this is the difficult question and the remaining two questions are very simple. Okay, let's see. Which of the options below states the correct number of currency notes of each denomination received by Ritz and Raqqah? So it was 2000, 500 and 200. The denominations, these were the denominations, and the number of notes were given as 16, 12 and 10. Okay, so we'll solve by hit and trial. Okay, so we know that the amount given was more than 35,000. So obviously the common sense says that in this even this question is not difficult. It can be solved using common sense. Now you know that the highest value, okay, would come when you have maximum notes of 2000. So why not try with that option? So if you see that if you take 10 notes of 2000, you would end up 20,000 plus if you maximize the number of 500 rupee notes, you would get 8,000, so 28,000. You won't reach anywhere near 35,000. Okay, so the common sense say that look at the highest possible value. So 16 notes, if you take 16 notes of 2000, you get 32,000. Then if you take, now there is only one option with 16 notes of 2000. So you will have to follow this, that 12 notes of 500. So this would give you another 6,000 and 10 notes of 200 would give you 2,000. So the total amount is 6 plus 2 plus 32, which is 40,000. Now this solves your question. So obviously this is the answer. If you try with other options, you won't get this, you won't get the total more than 35,000. Okay, so this is an obvious answer. Now let's look at the questions. So the first question is says that what percentage of the total, no, my bad. Acha, this we have already solved. Now the second question says that what percentage of the total value of the gifts received by Riz and Raqqah was by way of cash. So you know 40,000 out of 1 lakh, it is 40%. Again very simple question. The passage seemed to be difficult, okay, but if you observe closely it was very easy. Which of the following represents the correct amount spent by Riz and Raqqah on buying a guitar and sitar? So as I mentioned that for solving data interpretation, you should be thorough with chapters such as percentages and ratio proportion, and should have some basic knowledge of statistics such as average, basically mean, what in mathematical terms you call mean, median, mode, etc. You won't need knowledge of arithmetic to solve data interpretation. Okay, so you see that now there are two ways to solve it. One was, you know, it was 2 ratio 3 of 1 lakh, so obviously it would be 40,000 and 60,000. If you divide 1 lakh in 40,000 and 2 ratio 3, it would be 60,000. The second obvious thing was, if you add these values, because in the passage it was clearly stated that they spent the entire amount on buying the guitar and the sitar. Okay, so obviously it should add up to 1 lakh. Now you see the other options, they don't even add up to 1 lakh. So obviously this becomes the choice. Okay. So these were the questions that were presented in the quantitative techniques. We at GradeUp will come up with more questions, we'll hold more sessions on that, and we'll tell you how to solve different types of data interpretation. They had given you pie chart and CLAT. Will also teach you how to solve data bar graphs, line graphs, what is their significance, and how to solve such kind of data interpretation sets. Okay, so we'll come up with regular video lessons. Okay. So now Surajit sir will come, and he'll make you go through the legal reasoning as well as the general awareness session. Thank you guys.
Next.
Hello friends. Now, so we are over here going to discuss, my predecessors right now discussed the mathematics questions that came in the by way of this CLAT consortium coming up with this question paper. Now, I am going to discuss two very important topics from which CLAT has said that they are going to ask around 25% of the question. So from current affairs, including general knowledge, friends, we have to prepare ourselves so well that because of the fact that from current affairs and general knowledge alone, you will be asked 25% of your question paper. Okay, remember that even insofar as your legal reasoning is concerned, CLAT has made it absolutely clear that they are going to ask another 25% of the total marks from your legal reasoning. So current affairs plus legal reasoning is 50% of your question paper. Okay, current affairs plus legal reasoning amounts to 50% of the question paper. Okay, so please understand what kinds of question may arise in your CLAT 2020 question paper. Okay, so the first question, let's see. This is a passage based question, and we are going to read the entire passage very carefully, very slowly, understand ourselves what does this passage talks about, and thereafter we are going to answer the questions. Now, please read the said passage. I'll read for you. The United States House of Representatives impeached President Donald Trump on charges of abuse of power and obstruction of Congress, the culmination of an effort by Democrats that further inflated partisan tension in Washington and deepened the nation's ideological divide. The historic vote, which won the support of almost all Democrats in the House chamber, but not a single Republican, leave Trump as only the third president of the United States of America in the history to be impeached. and the only impeached president likely to win his party's nomination for re-election. The Senate will hold a trial early next year to decide whether the president should be convicted on the charged weeks of hearing, and wrote hundreds of pages documentation Trump's effort to pressure the president of one, very, very important, the president of Dash, to investigate former Vice President Dash and his son. Very, very important. So you have over here two blank spaces, 1 and 2. Right, friends? So I'll just repeat the last paragraph. Okay? House Democrats took depositions from more than a dozen witnesses, held weeks of hearing, and wrote hundreds of pages documentation. Trump's effort to pressure the president of Dash to investigate former President Dash and his son. Now, here was an allegation. This you will be aware of, friends. Okay? You will be aware of this incident, keeping in mind what happened about 2 months back. Okay? So from October 2019 onwards, there was a lot of news coming from the United States stating that Donald Trump can be impeached on charges of abuse of power and obstructing the Congress. Okay? Now, what is the Congress? Congress is nothing but the Parliament. What we call in India as Parliament, in America, the Parliament is called Congress. So Congress is not a party. Okay, it's not a party. In India, it's the Indian National Congress, which is a party. But in America, if you utter the word Congress, they would mean the Parliament of America. Okay, so let's see. There was this allegation against Donald Trump, stating very categorically that he might be a president who might be impeached on charges of abuse of power and obstructing the Parliament of America in its effort. Now, let's see the questions first. What does 1 and 2 stands for? What does this blank? Trump's effort to pressure the president of which country? A. And who was the vice president and his son against whom he wanted to investigate? That's the real question. So let's move on. Donald Trump is the third president of the United States of America to be impeached. Which of the following president has been impeached? Now, the precise question over here, Donald Trump's impeachment motion in the House is complete. The House has voted for removal of this man, okay, called Donald Trump. But his trial will be held in the Senate, where Donald Trump has the majority over there. Now, who is that president before Donald Trump against whom there was impeachment proceeding? Is it George Bush Sr., George Bush Jr., is it Richard Nixon, or is it Bill Gates? And the correct answer is, of course, Bill Gates. Of course, correct, absolutely. Most of you have given the right answer. Against Bill Gates, there was a conspiracy theory. Apparently, the allegation against Bill Clinton, the answer is Bill Clinton. So, what was the allegation against Bill Clinton? The allegation against Bill Clinton was that he had an extramarital affair with one of the interns of the Oval Office. Am I clear? So, there was an allegation against Bill Clinton, the former president of the United States of America, that he had an extramarital relationship with one of the interns of the Oval Office. That is, a woman who was working as an intern to the president of US. Apparently, there was some physical or other type of relation by Bill Clinton, and that was the precise allegation. So the correct answer is Option D, Bill Clinton is the correct answer. May I ask you a small question? Can you name the woman who had alleged that Bill Clinton had sexually abused her? Can you tell me the name of the woman who had made some allegation against Bill Clinton of sexual harassment? And that woman is none other than Monica Lewinsky. Okay, so there was this woman called Monica who had made this allegation against Bill Clinton that Bill Clinton had sexually abused her. Okay, so Bill Clinton is amongst the four options is the correct option. Bill Clinton was impeached. Okay, although the impeachment did not survive because he survived the Senate, but he was impeached by the Congress. Am I clear? Yeah. No, Hillary Clinton is his wife. Sachin Joshi, I'm just asking who was the president who has been impeached. Okay. Now, Monica something. Correct. Monica Lewinsky. Okay. That's the correct answer. So we move on to the next question. Which country's name has been replaced with one in the passage above? This is a very important thing. Is it Russia? Is it Ukraine? Is it United Kingdom? Or is it Saudi Arabia? And the correct answer to this question is and will be Ukraine. So what did the President of America do? The President of America had apparently called up, had spoken to the President of Ukraine, Vladimir Zelensky. Okay, Vladimir Zelensky is the President of Ukraine. Now, America was trying to put some pressure on Ukraine to conduct an inquiry against former Vice President of the United States, Joe Biden. Okay, now let me go to the previous slide. Okay, over here, please look at this. House Democrats took depositions from more than a dozen of witnesses, held weeks of hearing, and wrote hundreds of pages of documentation. Trump's effort to pressurize the President of Ukraine to investigate former Vice President of the United States, Joe Biden, and his son. Am I clear? So there was some pressure being put by the President of America on the President of Ukraine to conduct an inquiry or an investigation against Joe Biden, the former Vice President, as his son. Okay, so the correct answer to question number 2 is the word one can be replaced by Ukraine is the correct answer. Okay, now going to the third question. What is the name of the former Vice President of United States of America whose name has been replaced with 2 in the passage above? And the correct answer I have already told you is none other than former Vice President of America, Joe Biden. Okay? Joe Biden was the Vice President under the rule of Obama. So we had a president called Barack Obama. When Barack Obama was the president, his vice president was Joe Biden. And what is the name of his son? Joe Biden's son's name is Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden. He is a businessman. Joe Biden and his son has certain businesses in Ukraine, and Joe Biden's son's name is Hunter Biden. Okay, now Joe Biden is the proposed candidate for the 2021 presidential election on behalf of the Democrats. Am I clear? So the correct answer is option A. Let's move ahead. Which article of the Constitution of India sets out temporary provision relating to the state of Jammu and Kashmir? Article 365, no. Article 45, no. Correct answer is Article 61. Article 61 of our Constitution talks about or lays down the process for the impeachment of the President of India. Now, what is this process of impeachment? Let's understand that. Either of the House can come out with a notification, okay, or a process. Now, the process is simply this, that a proposal of impeachment can be made in the House, okay, either the Lok Sabha or the Rajya Sabha. The process of impeachment is this, that a proposal has to be first placed before the House, either in the Lok Sabha or in the Rajya Sabha, at least signed by 1/4 of the strength. So at least, so suppose a house has a strength of 100, at least 25 people must sign the proposal to impeach the president. After that, there is a voting. A voting takes place. Now, what is this voting all about? If 2/3 of the members of that particular house votes in favor of the motion to impeach the president, the motion is moved. It gets passed in one house, and the other house is going to investigate where the president or his lawyer can appear before the house and give his own defense before the house. So the house becomes a court. A house becomes a court in so far as the impeachment proceeding is concerned with regards to the President of India. The correct answer is option D. Am I clear, friends? Correct answer is option D. Now, question number 5. Under the Constitution of India, a charge of the impeachment of the President of India can be preferred by only the Lok Sabha, only Rajya Sabha, either houses of the parliament or both the houses of the parliament simultaneously. Please tell me which one is the correct answer. Is it option A? Is it option B? Is it option C? Or is it option D? The question over here categorically asks, which house can come out with a proposal to impeach the parliament? Both the houses are equally powerful. Either the Lok Sabha does it or the Rajya Sabha does it. Am I clear? So both the houses or either houses, either the Lok Sabha or the Rajya Sabha is empowered under the Constitution to move a motion of impeachment of the President of India. Am I clear? So the correct answer to this question is option C. Okay? So we are done with 5 questions. Let's move ahead. Okay? So we are done with 5 questions which were given in this question paper. Now let's come to the second passage. I will give you 1 minute to read the entire passage and I will read together with you, friends. The Dash mission is a highly complex mission which represents a significant technological leap compared to the previous mission of ISRO. It comprised an orbiter, a lander, a rover to explore and explode. The why. Here is a dash, okay, why. You have to understand what does Y stands for. The mission is designated to expand the lunar scientific knowledge through detailed study of topography, seismography, mineral identification and distribution, surface material composition, thermophysical characteristics of topsoil and composition of the tenuous lunar atmosphere, leading to a new understanding of the origin and evolution of the moon. After the injection of X, a series of maneuvers were carried out to raise its orbit on August 14, 2019, following translunar insertion, TLI, maneuvers. The spacecraft escaped from orbiting the Earth and followed a path that took it to the spacecraft escaped from orbiting the Earth and followed a path that took it to the vicinity of the Moon. On August 20th, 2019, X was successfully inserted into lunar orbit. Now let's see what lies next. The orbiter placed in its intended orbit around the Moon will enrich our understanding of the Moon's evolution and mapping of the minerals and water molecules in polar region using its 8 state-of-art, okay, 8 state-of-art scientific instruments. Okay, now this is a very, very important passage given. Okay, so let's start understanding what are those questions. First one, in the above passage, the name of the mission has been redacted with X. What is the name of the mission? As you guys all know that Chandrayaan-2, which ISRO, it was a great mission of ISRO, could not culminate into a successful launch. Of course, it was unsuccessful. But which is that? Which mission is the passage talking about? Is it talking about Chandrayaan-1? Is it talking about Mangalyaan-2, Chandrayaan-2 or Mission Mangal? The correct answer, as you have said, most of you, is Chandrayaan-2. You guys already know about few days back while I was taking a class insofar as your current daily affairs is concerned, I said that India will come up in 2020, 2021 with Chandrayaan-3, right? Chandrayaan-3. So this is Chandrayaan-2 mission. It was Chandrayaan-2 mission that was replaced with X, okay? So moving ahead. In the above passage, what has been redacted with Y? Is it the North Pole of the Moon? Is it the North Pole of Mars, South Pole of Moon, or the lunar equator? Now, most of the lunar missions have only reached the North Pole of the Moon. Till date, there has not been a single mission to the South Pole of the Moon. Now, Chandrayaan-2 was intended to explore the South Pole of the Moon, and hence the correct answer to your question is the South Pole of the Moon. Am I clear? Option C is the correct answer. Insofar as this question is concerned, the aim of ISRO was to see what the South Pole of the Moon looks like. What are the minerals found in the South Pole of the Moon? These were for which the correct answer to your question is option C. Absolutely correct, Anil. Absolutely. Okay. Up next, the mission referred to in the above passage was launched from which space center? Is it Satish Dhawan Space Center? Is it K7 Space Center? Is it Sivan Kota Space Center? Or is it Vikram Sarabhai Space Center? Now, K7 is the current chairman of ISRO. K7, option B, K7. K7 is the chairman of ISRO. So, option B is not there. Sivan and Kota, they have just mixed two names together and I've come up with option C. Sivan Kota Space Center. No, it is not Sivan Kota Space Center. Is it Vikram Sarabhai Space Center? No. The correct answer to this question is option A, Satish Dhawan Space Center. Am I clear? So it is Satish Dhawan Space Center from which the launch of Chandrayaan-2 had taken place. So the correct answer to this question is option A. Am I clear, friends? The correct answer to this question is option A. So let's go to question number 4. Which unexpected incident took place on September 7th, 2019 in relation to the mission referred to in the above passage that was described by the chairperson of ISRO as 15 minutes of terror. So, which was the event that K. Sivan, the chairman of ISRO, said that it would be 15 minutes of terror? And the correct answer is, let's see, is it Vikram lander had a hard landing and communication of the lander to the ground station was lost? Is it Vikram orbiter had a disorientation and spilled out of its intended orbit? Or is it Vikram lander got separated from the orbiter? Or is it D, that there was a 15 minutes power shortage? The correct answer is, since you have seen a lot of this happening in your newspapers and you have a lot of information, see, the Vikram lander had a wanted to go for a soft landing, but it had a hard landing and the communication from the lander to the ground was entirely lost. We had lost all communication from the planet Earth to the Vikram lander. And hence, the correct answer to your question is option A. Option A is the correct answer. Most of you have given the right answer. Okay? Yes. So, there was a hard landing for which all the communication between ISRO and the lander was lost, and that K. Sivan, the chairperson of ISRO, said that it will be a 15 minutes of terror. Okay? So, the correct answer to this question is option A. Moving up. Which of the following is a factually accurate statement in relation to the mission referred to above? Which of the following is a factually accurate statement in relation to the mission referred above? Now, is it the orbiter that was a part of the mission is the first lunar orbit launched by India? The lander that was a part of the mission was the first to achieve a soft landing on far side of the lunar surface? Or is it the mission is the first ever robotic spacecraft mission in the world? Or option D says the orbiter's high resolution camera that is a part of the mission is the highest resolution camera in any lunar mission so far. And the correct answer is option D, which says, see, the camera that was fitted on the orbiter, was of the highest resolution ever in the world. Okay? The orbiter, which was a part, there was cameras fitted which had the highest resolution insofar as all missions across the world is concerned. ISRO's camera that was fitted on the orbiter is of the highest resolution ever that landed on the surface of the moon. Okay? The correct answer is option D. The correct answer is option D. Am I clear, friends? Okay? The correct answer is option D. With this, we are done with your current affairs and general knowledge section. So today we have discussed 2 passage based general current affairs question. Did you get that? So we have discussed 2 sets of questions having 5 questions each from 2 important passages. Okay, one relating to the impeachment of Donald Trump and the second relating to the Chandrayaan mission, the Chandrayaan-2 mission of ISRO. Okay, now let's now discuss legal reasoning question paper. There were 2 important passages that was given by CLAT in its question paper. The first passage deals with the Data Protection Bill of 2019. The Parliament has very recently in 2019 came up with a Data Protection Bill of 2019. Now please read the passage and we will thereafter going to discuss the question. So I'll just read the passage for you. India's Personal Data Protection Bill 2019 starts encouragingly seeking to protect the privacy of individuals relating to their personal data. But by the end, it is clear that it is not designated to deliver on the promise. For even as it rightly requires handlers of data to abide by globally accepted rules about getting an individual's consent first, it disappointingly gives wide powers to the government to dilute any of these provisions for its agencies. Recently, messaging platform WhatsApp said that some of India's journalists and right activists were among those spiked on using technology made by an Israeli company, which by its own admission only works for government agencies across the world. Importantly, one of the first to raise a red flag about the bill problematic cause was Justice B.N.C. Krishna, a former judge of the Supreme Court, whose committee's report forms the basis of the bill. He has used words such as, the committee noted that the danger of privacy originate from state and non-state actors. It therefore called for exemptions to be watertight, narrowed, and available for use in limited circumstances. Okay? Moving ahead, it had also recommended that the government bring in a law for the oversight of intelligence gathering activity, that the means by which non-consensual processing of data takes place. A related concern about the bill is regarding the constitution of the Data Protection Authority of India. There was a concern relating to the constitution of the Data Protection Authority of India, which is to monitor and enforce the provision of the Act. It will be headed by a chairman and have no more than 6 whole-time members, all of whom are to be selected by a panel filled with government nominees. This completely disregards the fact that the government agencies are also regulated under the bill. They are major collectors and processors of data themselves. The sweeping power of the bill gives the government, renders meaningless the gains from the landmark K.S. Puttaswamy judgment of the Supreme Court, K.S. Puttaswamy versus the Union of India. This judgment is also known as the Aadhaar judgment. This judgment, K.S. Puttaswamy versus the Union of India, is the Aadhaar judgment, okay, by a constitution bench of the Supreme Court, which culminated in the recognition that privacy is intrinsic to life and liberty and therefore a basic right. The idea of privacy is certainly not reflected in the bill in its current form. Am I clear? So this is the passage given. Have most of you read the passage? After you are done reading the passage, just put a message in the chat box saying that you are done with reading the passage, so that I can go ahead and solve the questions. Once you have read this passage, let me know, so that after that we are going to discuss about the questions relating to this passage. Once you are done reading, friends, let me know. It's a very, very important passage. Okay? Okay, friends, are you done reading the passage? Rahul Agarwal says done. What about the rest? Are we done? Okay. So, let's see the questions. What are those questions? Which of the following views can be correctly attributed to the author in the above passage? Which of the following views can be correctly attributed to the authors of the passage? Is it A, B, C or D? A says the idea of privacy is not relevant to the bill. Absolutely incorrect. This bill talks about data protection. It talks about right to privacy. How can the idea of privacy not be relevant to the bill? Absolutely incorrect, right? Option A goes away. Let's come to option B. The idea of privacy can be overridden by a government agency since their role is to protect citizens. Now, can the government take away your right to privacy? No, the government cannot, because it is the bloody Constitution of India that provides you with that right. No government can take away that right. Let's come to option C. The idea of privacy as a basic right is not adequately addressed in the bill in the current form. Yes, the author says that every human being has a right to privacy. Under Article 21, right to life also includes right to privacy. Right, friends? Now, the manner in which this data protection bill is in its current form, it does not adequately addresses the basic right to privacy. Am I clear, friends? So the correct answer to your question is option C. Option C is the correct answer. Absolutely, all of you are correct. Okay? Most of you, all of you are correct. Let's go to question number 2. According to the passage, the committee headed by Justice B. N. Sri Krishna called for A. Limiting the grounds on which government agencies may be allowed to act in a manner that endangers the right to privacy of an individual. B. The right to privacy to be exempted from the ambit of the bill. C. The right to privacy to be endangered by state and non-state actors. D. Watertight protection to government agencies that process data of individuals. Now, what according to B. N. Sri Krishna is the correct thing? Which? Now, is it limiting the ground on which government agencies may be allowed to act in a manner that endangers the right to privacy of an individual? Yes, Rahul, the correct answer is option A. The correct answer is option A. Option A states that limiting the grounds on which government agencies may be allowed to act in a manner that endangers the right of privacy of individual. Justice Sri Krishna simply said that the manner in which government agencies are allowed to take away your data. What is your data? You have a lot of data. You see a lot of websites. You have your WhatsApp, you have your Facebook, you have this, you have that. So all these data get collected. Do you want to show it to the government? It's your question. No, that is called your right to privacy. So B. N. Sri Krishna limited the grounds on which government agencies may be allowed to act in a manner that endangers the right to privacy of individuals. Okay, so the correct answer is option A. Okay, moving ahead. Question number 3. Question number 3 says, suppose the bill provides a test of proportionality in respect of privacy, which is the act which infringes privacy must have a legitimate aim and must be the least restrictive way of achieving that aim. If a journalist is known for her reporting on corruption in government agencies, and the government chooses to engage a surveillance company to collect message exchanged by her on WhatsApp in order to intimidate her. Does it meet the test of proportionality? Now, I'll just explain you what the question is. The question is simply this. Suppose the bill provides for a test of proportionality. Now, what is the proportionality test? Simply to put, whether the data that the government wants to take away from you, whether is it relating to the importance of the security of the country, or the friendly relation between two or more than two states. Now, why is the government coming up? Why is the government wanting to have a surveillance company to collect all the WhatsApp details between a journalist and the other person? Does it miss the test of proportionality? Now let's see what the answer is. Yes, without collecting the journalist WhatsApp message, there is no way for the government to prevent her from reporting against it. Now, what do you mean by journalism? Now, if a journalist wants to expose the government on corruption, is that journalist doing his job or not doing his job? He is doing his job, and that's the precise work of a journalist, right? The precise work of a journalist is to talk about various agencies and to open up various corruption charges against the government. Option A goes away. Option A absolutely is not the correct answer. Let's come to option B. No, the government should have taken measures such as imprisoning the journalist to ensure that she does not continue to report. Of course not. Option C. No, conducting surveillance on a journalist to intimidate her is not a legitimate aim. Now, what is the test of proportionality? That the government can take away a lot of data provided you are a security threat, provided you are a threat to the country. So hence, to intimidate a journalist, for that aim, can the government take away all your data? No, the government cannot. Hence, the correct answer is option C. Conducting surveillance just to intimidate a journalist does not meet the test of proportionality in the bill. Am I clear? So, the correct answer is option C. Am I clear, friends? Correct answer is option C. Moving ahead. Question number 4. The author is concerned about the constitution of the Data Protection Authority under the bill. Why? Because A, B, C or D. The author believes that the government agency should not be regulated under the bill. The author believes that if the members of the authority, that is the Data Protection Authority, are elected by government nominees, the Data Protection Authority will be ineffective in regulating government agencies. Let's see whether it is option B or not. Option C says the author believes that the DPA should be constituted of major collectors and processors of data. No. The author believes that the collectors and processors of data cannot be regulated by persons who have no experience in collecting and processing data. No. Let's see. The correct answer to this question is, friends, see, the author believes that if the members of this Data Protection Authority are elected by government nominees, then it will not be an effective thing. It will not be effective at all, because government is the biggest collector of all the data. Now, if the authority is filled with government people, can the government people pass a order or a direction against himself? No. And hence the Sri Krishna committee recommended that the DPA, the Data Protection Authority, the members over there should not be nominated by government people. Am I clear? So the correct answer to this question is option B. Option B is the correct answer. Absolutely correct, friends. Absolutely correct. Most of you have given the correct answer. Moving ahead. The bill is aimed and the government's power to provide exemptions for its agencies are removed. In such a situation, according to the author, A, B, C or D, the bill would deliver on its promise of seeking to protect the privacy of individuals relating to their personal data. Option B, the bill would not deliver on its promise of seeking the protection to protect the privacy of individuals relating to their personal data. Option C says the bill would not deliver on its promise since it is necessary for the government to have such exemptions in order to effectively do its work. The bill would be a failure since the government would not be able to implement it. Okay? Now, which of the following is now, if the bill is amended and the government provides some exemption to these agencies who can collect the data, in such a situation, which of the following is true? Is it A, is it B, is it C, or is it D? I will give you 15 seconds to answer this question. Rahul Agarwal says option A is the correct answer. What about the rest? What about the rest? Okay, absolutely correct. The bill would deliver on the promise provided the government amends the bill in such a way that it provides exemption for its agencies are removed. If the exemption clause from the bill is removed, then everyone's data is protected. Am I clear? It's a simple question. It's a very simple question. If the government amends the bill in such a manner that the exemptions are removed, then your as well as mine data stands protected, friends. Am I clear? Am I clear, friends? Okay. Option A is the correct answer. Okay. Moving ahead to passage 2, and this is the final passage in your legal reasoning section. Please read the passage. The passage goes something like this. Last week, the government used the Drug Price Control Order of 2013 to increase the price ceiling of 21 medicines by as much as 50% to ensure their availability in the market. This is a welcome move because lower prices would have further limited the availability of these drugs, some of which includes those used for malaria, leprosy and allergy. The decision by the regulatory authority, usually known to reduce price of essential drugs, was prompted by repeated petition by the pharmaceutical industry, which pointed out that the increasing cost of imports had made the production of some of these drugs unviable. Prices of bulk drugs and active pharmaceuticals ingredients have in fact gone up to 88% and are largely imported. This raises a basic question: should the government control prices? The motivation for controlling drug prices is not very difficult to understand. Unlike some of the developed countries where most of the population has insurance coverage or medical facilities are provided by the state, medical expenses in India are borne by citizens, largely through out-of-pocket expenses. Therefore, the state intervenes by keeping price of some drugs in check to contain such spending. However, the unintended consequence is that it affects the supply of drugs and can potentially make citizens worse off. The risk of non-availability was an important reason for raising price. Although all pharmaceutical companies may not stop producing drugs with price control, they may limit the supply. Further, the government usually deters on price hike because of potential consideration so that it is not accused of favoring private companies. Thus, the government should stay away from dictating prices and allow the market to function. Competition in the marketplace will ensure that no company is able to make extraordinary profit in basic and essential drugs. Since the state has limited resources, it should focus on regulation and ensure that the quality of drugs supplied in the market is not compromised at any point. Am I clear, friends? So, after you are done reading, please on your chat box, please say you are done so that I can continue with the questions. Okay? Read this passage very carefully. Most of the answers are there in the passage itself. After your reading is complete, please put a chat in your chat box stating that you are done with reading the passage. Now, this very passage was taken from the Business Standard of Mumbai edition of the 17th of December 2019. Okay. Now, these are all passages that have come from editorials. They can ask you questions, they can pull up a paragraph from Hindu, Business Standards, or any other newspaper available in the market. Okay. So, this is a passage that is taken from the Business Standard of Mumbai edition of the 17th of December. So, after you are done reading, please, yeah. So, most of you are done? Okay. So, we start with solving the question. Based on the author's argument in the passage above, which of the following would be most correct? The state should not control price of medicine since it would hamper the development of international pharmaceutical companies. It does not talk about that. The passage talks about something else. B. The state should control the price of medicine since it would also be manufacturing the drugs itself. The passage does not talk about manufacturing of drugs by the government of India. Option C. The state should not control the price of medicine since the market would determine the best price of such drugs. And option B says the state should control the price of medicine since citizens are likely to fall ill more often. So, which amongst the following is the correct answer? Which amongst the following is the correct answer? Most of you have started giving me the answer, and the correct answer is option C. See, the passage says that the state should not control price. Let the market control the price in itself. Am I clear? So, when more people are competing in the market, generally the price will come down. So, let the market take that control. Let the government not put pressure on individual companies to control the drug prices. Am I clear? So, the correct answer is option C, which says that state should not control the price. Let the market determine the price itself. Absolutely correct, friends. Absolutely correct. Option C is the correct answer. Okay, moving ahead. An essential medicine, formula A, is used to treat cancer and there is only one company engaged in its manufacture. If this is true, then based on the author's reasoning in the passage above, which of the following stands correct? Is it A, the state should not control the price of formula A since it should allow the market to function? No. The state should control the price of formula A as there is no competition in the marketplace and it cannot function to control the price of the medicine. Option B is a very, very important thing. Option B simply says that since there is only one company manufacturing formula A, which is a medicine to treat cancer. Now, how will the market understand what is the price of this formula A? Is there any competition in the market? No, there is no such competition in the market. There is only one person who is making that formula A medicine. How will he determine the price of the market? Only in those events, the state should control the price of formula A since there is no other company producing the same medicine. Am I clear? So the correct answer to this question, most of you have said it correctly, is option B. Option B says the state should control the price since there is no competition in the marketplace. Am I clear? So the correct answer to this question is option B. Moving ahead to question number 3. The state removes all price restriction on an essential medicine. The state removes all price restriction on an essential medicine. Pharmaceutical companies start selling that medicine at a price nearly 5 times its earlier price. In such a situation, based on the author's reasoning, which of the following is correct? Let's see. Let's read one of the option after the other. Is it the state should not control the price of the medicine since competition in the market would eventually lead to an appropriate price being set? Option B says the state should not control the price of the medicine since the price increase is directly attributable to an increase in the price of the ingredients used in the medicine. Is it option C, the state should not control the price of the medicine, but it should supply the ingredients for the medicine at lower price? Option C is an absurd option. Let's come to option D. The state should control the price of the medicine since people may not be able to afford it anymore. Now let's see and understand the rationale. The rationale of this question is, suppose the state removes all price restriction and suppose the company was selling a particular drug at 5 rupee. After the restriction got removed, that company starts today selling that price at 25 rupees, 5 times. Remember over here, 5 times. Now, which of the following is correct? Let's see. Let's see which of the options is correct. Yes, friends, please give me your answers. Please give me your answers. C and D are out. Option C and D, if you read the passage, option C and D are out straight away. Straight away it is out. This is absurd. The passage does not talk about ingredients to be supplied at lower price, or the government, or since people may be unable to afford it. The passage does not talk about that. So C and D is absolutely out. What is your answer amongst A or B? Should the state should not control the price because of X reason, or the state should not control the price for Y reason? Is it A or is it B? The correct answer, friends, is option A. Okay? I think the correct answer is option A, which says that the state should not control the price of the medicine since the competition in the market will lead eventually in setting a price. When suppose, now I'll tell you what is it. Now suppose 5 people or 5 companies are there manufacturing a particular drug. Now if one company increases its price 5 times, then there are other companies also. There are other companies also who are manufacturing the same drugs. Now if there are 2 same drug is available in the market, one at rupees 5, one as rupees 25, both of them are same ingredients. Which one will you buy? The 5 rupee one or the 25 rupee one? Same thing, same formula, same ingredients. Why should you buy that 25 rupee medicine? Henceforth, let the state not control the price of the drugs. Since there is more companies, it is not like the previous question where you had only one company manufacturing formula A. Here is many companies coming out with the same medicine. Now, if one person charges an exorbitant price, the people are not going to buy that product itself. Am I clear? So the correct answer to in this factual situation is option A. Option A categorically states that the state should not control the price of the medicine, since there is already competition in the market. And when there is competition in the market, it will eventually lead to an appropriate setting of price. Am I clear? So the correct answer to this question is option A. Okay? Moving ahead to question number 4. Okay? The state places a very low price for the sale of an essential medicine, which is lower than the price of the imported ingredients used to make the medicine. What, according to the author, would be the effect of setting such a low price? Is it A, B, C or D? A says the low price would result in people thinking the medicine is not good and they would not use it. No, absolutely not. B, companies supplying the ingredients for the medicine would lower the price of their product. Option C, people would buy more healthy insurance policies so that they do not have to pay for essential medicines. Or is it option D, the lower price would restrict the availability of the medicine in the market, since pharmaceutical companies may not want to manufacture or import the medicine and sell it at a lower price. Now understand, suppose the state prescribes a lower price of sale than what is, suppose the selling price of a product is lower than the cost price of the product. Now will any company want to go for a loss? The answer is no. No company wants to go for a loss. Now by setting a lower price, what happens is this: the company will tomorrow say, I will not manufacture that product itself. The company will say that since it is a loss making thing, I will not produce that very medicine itself. That's the end of it. Am I clear, friends? That is the end of it. So let's understand, the lower price would restrict the availability of the product, and no pharmaceutical companies wants to go to a loss, right? So the correct answer insofar as this question is concerned, keeping in mind the passage, is option D. Okay, option D says pharmaceutical companies would not manufacture this medicine if the government prescribes a low price. Am I clear, friends? If the government prescribes a very low price, the company will say no to it. Am I clear, friends? So moving ahead, question number 5. The pharmaceutical industry has been asked the government to raise the price of certain drugs for a long time, but has not received a response. Why, according to the author, could this be? The government is indecisive about raising price for the fear of being accused of favoring private companies. Is it option B? Private companies only value profit and do not pay attention to the quality of medicines they manufacture. Absolutely incorrect. Option B goes away. Option C, the government has limited resources and may not have been able to study the details of the pharmaceutical industry's demand. Option D, since deciding the price of medicine is not the government's job, it would wish to avoid doing it. Now let's see. Let us understand this question very, very carefully. Okay. Now, the pharmaceutical industry has been asking the government to raise the price of a particular medicine, but they have not received any response from the government. Now, why is it so? Is it because the government fears? Is it because the government fears that raising a price of a particular drug of a company, they will be accused of favoring private companies? Yes. If you go back to the passage and read the last line of the passage, okay, I'll just go to the passage once for you. Okay, see, read over here. Thus, the government should stay away from dictating prices and allow the market to function. Competition in the market will ensure that no company is able to make extraordinary profit in basic and essential drugs. So the state has limited resources. It should focus on regulating or ensuring the quality of the drugs supplied. Am I clear? Now, over here, again, they have talked about the risk of non-availability of import reasons. Am I clear? Let's move ahead, to the prior slide. Again, over here says the government, the passage very categorically states that if you read, okay, I'll just come to the correct answer. Please read this part. Further, the government usually deters on price hike because of political consideration, so that it is not accused of favoring private companies. Read this. Further, the government usually deters on price hike because of political consideration, so that it is not accused of favoring private companies. Am I clear? Now let's come to the question. Now, the pharmaceutical industry has been asking the government to raise the price of a drug, but the government is not answering. Why? Because the government is fearful, has a fear in its mind that it will be accused of favoring private companies. Am I clear? And this is the reason for which the government is not replying to the request of the pharmaceutical industry. Am I clear? Am I clear? So the correct answer is option A. Option A is the correct answer, friends. Okay? So with this friends, we come to the end of today's class, where we have discussed in details all the questions relating to English, logical reasoning, mathematics, general awareness, as well as legal reasoning. With this, we come to the end of today's class. Today was an analysis of the question paper that CLAT has released. I wish you all the very best. Please, friends, we have in our platform, that is in the Grade Up platform, we are providing you with quizzes, study notes, exam related announcement, daily current affairs for law exam, weekly legal updates, and mock test papers as per as the latest pattern which has been released. Okay, so be with us. I wish you all the very best, friends. Do subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon so that you do not miss on any notification. I wish you all the very best, and I also wish you a very, very happy new year 2020. So be in touch with us every day on the weekdays from Monday to Friday. Every day we have classes at 6 o'clock sharp, where we discuss daily current affairs. We will definitely, friends, I can understand your anxiety. We will definitely have lots and lots of mock tests. We will provide you with mock test, but please attend the classes so that you do not miss on important discussions. Okay, Thank you very, very much. God bless you. Thank you.